Before I introduce our guest speaker this morning, just a reminder that at 6 p.m. this evening here in our building, we have a community choir choral concert. And so I would encourage you all to come and listen to some outstanding music. Having said that, we have a visiting speaker this morning. He and his wife, so Seth Hedman and his wife Jody, are here with us, and they head up the InterVarsity programs at Central College and William Penn. So Seth, we're glad to have you with us. Jody, you too, and we'll turn it over to you, okay?
No, I'm okay. All right, good morning, First Church. I got to grab my thing over here. So I am so privileged and honored to be with you this morning. I love history, and so it's fun to be in the first Reformed church in Pella, right? And I love what God is doing in this community to fulfill, and bring to redemption to promises that He has made to this church long ago. And so thank you so much for having me here. I want to tell a little bit about myself. Let's see, where did my clicker go? Did I lose it? Well, we'll just have them go to the back. So go ahead and go to the first slide. There's our theme for the morning. Today is the first Sunday of Advent, so happy Advent. We've sung O Come Emmanuel, right? You can see the Christmas trees and some of the seasonal decoration in the room. I love this time of year, and I have loved learning about Advent in a sort of new way that's different than Christmas, and I think makes Christmas that much more special. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about that and what hopefully this God can do in this community during this Advent season. So first, a little bit about myself. If we want to go to that next slide. There I am. There's my wife Jody and I. We are going to be married 2 years on December 19th. So excited to have her with me this morning. A little bit else about myself. I played football for 16 years of my life, so I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then you can see little Seth there, and then much older Seth, right, like 15 years later. And I played football for Drake, so that's actually what brought me up to Iowa. And then after that, God called me to do InterVarsity after graduating. And so there you can see a picture of some of the wonderful students at Central College. And it's a really fun job that I'm really honored to do. So having said that, let's go ahead and read the scripture. So let's jump forward to that slide, and we will, I'll read the scripture and then I'll pray and we'll get going. So I'll read it out loud if you can't quite make that out. This is from the book of Matthew. It says, "Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. For when the foolish took their lamps, they took no oil with them, but the wise took flasks of oil with their lamps. As the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and slept. But at midnight there was a cry, 'Here is the bridegroom, come out to meet him.' Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, 'Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out.' But the wise answered, saying, 'Since there will not be enough for us and for you, go rather into the dealers and buy for yourselves.' And while they were going to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him in the marriage feast, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other virgins came also, saying, 'Lord, Lord, open to us.' But he answered, 'Truly I say to you, I did not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour.'" This is the word of the Lord. So God, would you bless this time? Would you come, Holy Spirit, and speak through my feeble words, speak through your scripture and through your church. Would we learn about the season of Advent? Would you prepare our hearts for Christmas and the Christmas season? Would you be with us this morning? In Jesus' name, amen. So as we go to the next slide, if you're like me, I did not grow up following the church calendar. I grew up in more of a Baptist tradition, right? We tend to look at things like Lent and Advent as like suspiciously Catholic, right? So it's not something that I was super familiar with, but as I've kind of come into my own in my faith and been learning about church history and whatnot, right, I've come to really appreciate the church calendar. it's actually a long, rich history going back to ancient Israel, right? So if you remember your Old Testament theology, right, God institutes the law, and a big part of the law was these feasts and a calendar, right? That as God instituted, like, okay, I'm going to make Israel my people, right? There was something about the way that his people interacted with time that was significant, right? Year after year. We're going to celebrate this festival. We're going to do this way. And then we're going to remember, and we're going to do Passover to remember the Exodus, right? And we're going to do Pentecost to remember this. And we're going to do the Festival of the Booths where everybody sleeps outside. I want to try that one sometime. Just have a week in a tent. But so there's something about like entering into the rhythms of the calendar that was significant in shaping the people of Israel, right? And the early church got this and just applied it right away to the early church and said, that's a great idea, God. That was really smart. Let's keep doing that, but let's change it, right? So instead of around the Exodus, the church starts shaping their calendar around two primary significant events, which is Easter and Christmas. If in case you didn't know, the RCA uses the Common Revised Lectionary. So it's the church calendar that actually we share with Catholics, with Anglicans, with most Methodists, right? So like there's hundreds of millions of Christians all around the world that are having this sermon today. That's kind of cool, right? Like we're part of the body of Christ in a larger sense. I feel like we should appreciate. The other thing I appreciate about the church calendar is that there's this repetition, right, that year after year, season after season, Christmas after Christmas, we enter into the life of Christ, right? We enter into the birth of Christ. We enter into his baptism at Epiphany. We enter into, right, the preparation and lead up to Good Friday and Lent, right? And the image was sort of like drops of water on a rock, right? Like a couple of drops of water don't do anything on a rock, right? But over time, over years and over decades, that water totally shapes the rock. I think about it like a carpenter, right? Jesus was a carpenter, right? You can imagine a carpenter with a wedge or a chisel or whatever and just like scraping off layers of wood and scraping off layers of wood and scraping off layers of wood. And over time, right, he creates something beautiful like this, right? But it takes, those each individual strokes. So I'm 27, right? A couple of you out there have a few more Christmases behind you than I do, right? But there's something significant about recognizing that, like, no matter how old we get, no matter how many Christmases or Advents or Lents or Easters we go through, each one is a little scrape off the wood, right? Each one is a little bit of God shaping us. Each season, God can have something new for us in sort of sitting in these holidays, remembering the life of Christ. So that kind of brings us to Advent, and the idea that the Advent in the church calendar is similar to Lent, right? In the same way that Lent prepares us for Easter, Advent should prepare us for Christmas. And we ought to view Christmas through the lens of Advent, right? As we look forward over the next 22 days, right? It's this lead up and this ramp up that should shape our perception of Christmas and actually prepare our hearts for that day. I've often heard pastors say on Easter Sunday, like, good morning, Christians. Like, for us, this is the biggest day of the year. Easter is what we say, right? And I found myself a couple of years ago thinking, like, is it? Like, do we act that way? Do I feel that? Does Easter feel like the biggest day of the year, right? And I think the answer was no. Like, I probably put more effort and energy into the 4th of July or certainly Christmas, right? Or, different holidays, my birthday or something, right? Christmas should be the second biggest day of the year, right? And we should feel that conviction if it's not in our hearts, right? And we should change the way that we look at Christmas. I think that if we do a better job of entering into Advent, it will feel bigger when we finally get to Christmas, right? And bigger not in the materialistic, gift-giving, spend time with family ways. All the things are good, but actually in celebrating what Christmas is all about. In the same way, Jody and I were really intentional last Lent. We did kind of a fast. What did we do? We did basically no junk food, no sweets, only rice, grains, meat, vegetables, right? Kind of sort of like a paleo diet, if you've ever heard of that. But anyway, it was really hard. It's really hard to not just pop in a pizza on a Friday night and so it took a lot of intentionality. And I think that as we entered into that intentionality, that made Holy Week and Easter that much more significant. And so I invite you guys to enter into this Advent season with extra intentionality, with extra reflection, that in hope and in prayer that December 25th will not just kind of be a deadline for us, that it can feel like so much time. Or we get all the family stuff out of the way and it's all chaotic, and then the 25th actually shows up with kind of a whimper, right? I want us to avoid that. I want us to feel the spiritual significance of Christmas. And so for Advent specifically, when you hear Advent, think wait. All right, everybody, I do this sometimes. Everybody say with me this morning, everybody say wait. Yeah, so when you hear Advent, think wait. Wait specifically means coming or arrival, right? So the advent of Christ is his arrival. That means the season of Advent is like a preparation for his arrival. It's the pre-arrival, the practice of being between the now, Jesus is coming, right? And the not yet. He's not here yet. It's sort of sitting in that tension. And so my invitation for you is kind of sit in that tension, sit in that waiting, and hopefully that waiting will turn into better celebrating, right? So so I'll share with us the 3 waits of Advent and the 3 celebrates of Christmas, right? So with that, let's turn to the first one. So the first wait that we want to enter into is the wait for Israel's long-awaited Messiah, right? So as we reflect back on the history of Israel, right, and sort of the context of what's going on Christmas morning or on Christmas night, it's usually a night when they're in the manger. Anyway, right, in the preparation and the lead up to Israel, right, we want to put ourselves in the shoes of ancient Israel. All of the promises, right? All of the prophets, all of the sins and the destructions, all of the exiles and the failures, right? For thousands of years, these people, Israel, are yearning for and longing for the Messiah. The Messiah, come, rescue us, right? We are oppressed. Will you send it, right? And we hear these, right? That God is sending the Messiah. Isaiah 43 and the suffering servant, right? And Isaiah 9 and for unto us a child is born, right? And the government shall be upon his shoulders, and he shall be the Prince of Peace, right? These promises of Christmas were so significant for these people, right? And around the time Jesus was born, it's been 400 years since the last prophet and Micah has spoken. What a waiting, right? What a endurance for these people to continue to celebrate Passover and continue to celebrate their seasons and continue to hold on to their tradition and their identity in spite of God just taking forever, it seems, right? And yet, and I love this song. I love the Advent song, O come, Emmanuel, right? And ransom captive Israel, right? You can hear the bondage term, right? Ransom means like literally you're buying back. Israel is captive to their sins and often to physical oppression, right? And you can feel the yearning, oh come, right? But as we enter into the waiting of ancient Israel, we get to celebrate that Messiah has come, right? Messiah has come. He shows up, right? Emmanuel, God with us, God incarnate. I think, I've been studying church history, and the significance of the incarnation, I feel, is one of those jewels and mysteries of the faith that we will spend 1,000,000 years reflecting on in eternity, right? That God, fully man, that this little baby is the infinite creator of the universe, right? That is a mystery of the faith that is worth celebrating. And I think as we enter into the waiting of Israel, that celebrate becomes that much more significant. All right, the second waiting of Advent is waiting for breakthrough here now. So life is hard, amen. There are struggles, there are difficulties, and we often find ourselves waiting on God here and now, right? I think about sicknesses, health problems, think about job problems, finances, maybe family members going through hard times or struggling in their relationship with God. We find ourselves praying over and over and over again, like the widow in Jesus' parable, just pleading for God to move, to show up. And I think Advent is a season where we can sit in that, right? That we're sort of allowed, like we were praying this earlier, to actually enter into the mourning and the waiting in our own life, to not allow ourselves to skip forward to easy answers, right? I was just talking to a friend the other day, and when he feels anger or frustration or disappointment or sadness, his instinct is to suppress that emotion and just like put the Band-Aid on and say, well, that's not true because God's good, right? And he just covers it up. And he's trying to learn how to actually enter into his emotions and the frustration and the anger he feels so that God can actually heal it and speak to it, right? And I think that that's what we do in Advent. When we wait for breakthrough, we allow ourselves to actually feel and express and sit in that in-between time, that frustration, that difficulty of God not doing what maybe we expected him to do, and not rushing to easy answers. That then turns to, on Christmas, as we turn to the celebrate, a better celebration, right? That we recognize and we sit in on Christmas Day that God is with us. Amen? Even when we don't feel it. Especially when we don't feel it, maybe, right? God continues to be with us, both in his immanence and in the intimacy of the Holy Spirit, right? God is both like transcendent and immanent, like he's close with us everywhere all the time, right? But in the Holy Spirit, we have God himself inside of us, right? God is with us, and God will break through. We can celebrate when we see that Jesus shows up on Christmas Day, that God will come. God will give healing. God will give deliverance. This side of eternity or the next, right? We don't know when that may come, but we can celebrate the significance that, like, God will show up. Amen? All right. In the last waiting that we enter into on Advent, and I love this because it feels so foreign, but is actually very rich in the history of Advent and Christmas, is that we wait for Jesus' imminent return. Imminent means it could happen at any time, or it's sort of like really close, right? So Jesus could come back at any moment, and that's a celebration. We're waiting. We're not celebrating yet. I think that we need a better like theology of the end times, or like a better eschatology, a better emphasis on remembering that Jesus is coming back today. Amen? Like the world and its chaos and its struggle, man, we yearn for the King. We yearn for Jesus to be on his throne, to make all things right, for the government to truly rest upon his shoulders in completion and in fulfillment. Right? I think of the verse in Romans that says, all of creation groans for the revealing of the sons of God. Right? Creation itself, the earth, the trees, right? It groans under the weight and the consequence and the burden of sin. Sin broke everything, right? And Jesus' return will make all things right. War, genocide, racism, chaos, murder, right? Jesus will set these things right. The return of Jesus is actually traditionally called the second Advent, if you didn't know that. So as we enter into that waiting for Jesus to come back, we get to celebrate, which is the next one, that Jesus is coming back. There's a great verse in Revelation that says, the Spirit and the bride say, come, right? We as the church are the bride of Christ. The Spirit and the bride say, come, right? We yearn for Jesus to come back. It's okay for you to pray that Jesus would come back. It feels a little presumptuous, like, hurry up. But that's totally biblical. That we pray for Jesus to come back, and there's actually an image in Revelation, right, that as the prayers of the saints are stored up in this bowl of incense, that as those prayers store up, it sort of reaches a fulfillment, right? So our prayers are are actually quickening Jesus' return. I think about before I was married, reflecting on Jesus' return and finding myself thinking like, yeah, Jesus' return would be great, but Jesus, it'd be really great if you could just wait until I got married, because I really want to like experience that first and have this feeling that like if Jesus came back before I would get married, I would like miss out on something, right? And I would regret. Sometimes I think about this in relation to Marvel movies, because I love Marvel movies. Infinity War is coming out in May, and if Jesus came back before then, I would, I struggle to feel like maybe I would miss out on something, right? That's supposed to be a joke. I hope that's okay. But for real, there's a little bit of that in me, and I found myself thinking, if there's ever a time where I feel like Jesus, if you could just wait a little bit, like I'm putting that thing as way too important in my life, right? Like, oh, Jesus, if you could just wait until I had kids, if you could just wait till I had grandkids, if you could just wait till I get my house paid off and get a few years of rest, right? Like, no, Jesus' return will be infinitely better than any of those things, right? Infinitely better than any of the sort of material or even good things that we can imagine and want and desire on this earth. Jesus' return will be way better than that. It'll be the fulfillment of all of those things that we may long for. So I think we get to reflect on that in this Advent season and celebrate that on Christmas, that Jesus will come back and it will be awesome and amazing. So I have a few closing thoughts. I think I have a slide for closing thoughts. Nope, I don't. Go back. I hope that you'll remember a few of these things. As we head forward into the Advent season. We will keep these things in mind, right? Waiting on the long-awaited Messiah, sort of entering into Israel's waiting, entering into our own waiting for breakthrough, and entering into the waiting for Jesus' return. And that we will resist the temptations of consumerism in the Christmas season, and even sort of a selfishness maybe around our own family that can happen sometimes, right? We have sort of our own consumerism around like family time that can happen. I hope that we will resist those temptations and focus on Jesus, not just the cute baby Jesus story, right? But actually the waiting of Advent in its fullness. And that will turn to a celebration of Jesus coming in its fullness as well. In Christ's first coming, in his presence with us now, and in his ultimate return. So having said that, I will have us stand. We'll do the Lord's Prayer one more time so we can go to the next time. For everyone to stand with me, and then I'll dismiss you with a benediction. So if you can't quite see that, we're using trespasses instead of debts. So if you'll pray with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.